this meme. It just basically says, "Who can I blame?" and it's the first square. And then there's two options with two buttons. It says Nico and the other players, and the other button says Tennessee and other schools. And these are all the media people who just don't want to say one side or the other is wrong. And so they just do what everybody does and says, let's blame the government. Let's blame the governing body. The NCAA is a joke. Whoa. And so they hit that button that's to the side, and it's the emergency button. And what are we talking about? I should have not put this first. I put that in the wrong order, so whoops. And they're all in the wrong order. Anyways, sources, we'll go back. Sources. Tennessee is
talking about Nico's deal.
Yes. Nico Limalaba.
La 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 la.
I am a leave. Somebody put Nico, I'm a leaving.
Yeah. I'm a leaving. Yeah.
I'm a leaving. That's perfect right there.
That's good. He's moving on from Tennessee's moving on from starting quarterback Nico Amalivia, whatever his name is. Tennessee coach Josh Heupel informed the team of the decision at team meeting this morning. He missed meetings and practice on Friday, which was the driver of this decision. Also, he was holding out to go from $2 million to $4 million, and that's why we had the meme in the front. This came to about because Dan Lanning apparently was the coach who initiated contact to Tennessee coach Josh Heupel, who let him know Nico was sniffing around for a deal. Do you respect Dan Lanning for that, or do you think he's a snitch?
No. Well, he is a snitch, but in today's times for coaching, hey, it's a good heads up.
Everybody's attacking coaches. Like that was everybody's angle, was like everybody's having to find new angles. That's why I did that little meme at the beginning. So
yeah, but these coaches got to trust each other a little bit. I kind of get that. Like, hey, this guy's calling me asking about some stuff, so wanted to let you know. Doesn't mean he's not going to try and get him.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I would want to know if my players are, out hunting. So
yeah,
I respect it, but
maybe they'll coach together one day. Who knows? But
you never know. You don't want to be burning bridges like that in the coaching world. Yeah, like you never know what's going to happen with your situation. So yeah, giving somebody a heads up would be cool.
But here's what I'm hearing about the situation though. So apparently,
let's go.
Nico was wanting to update the offense a little bit to make it more similar to a pro style deal. Get some stuff in there to where it's preparing him more for the NFL, because he's been in contact with some guys who have gone on and say that the things they're doing at Tennessee aren't really preparing them with the system they run for the NFL. But at the same time, Nico was getting recruited and saw what they were doing and how they ran their offense. So is it really Heupel's job to prepare him for the NFL at risk of not performing well in games? Or is it his job to try and go out there and put a system in to win games in the college system? So it's kind of like a chicken and an egg. And, I don't know how the conversations or communication went between Heupel and Nico and how they're going to change the system. Maybe he made promises weren't kept. I don't know. But that just seems like Nico was wanting to do something that's going to set him up better for the future, where Heupel's kind of like, this is my system maybe, and this is how I want to run the ball. And it got us, yeah, you were the quarterback, but it's my system, and it got us to where we want to go. And I think that he probably just feels like he's got somebody in there who can do just as good as he did.
I'm pretty sure that Heupel and they're concerned about the $4 million and saying, dude, you're not worth it.
I agree.
Because the dude from Ohio State got $4 million to go to Miami. That might be the going rate of quarterbacks now. Who knows?
You mean Georgia?
Georgia. Yeah.
But see, and also shout out to BMO, because didn't what's his name, Mayo, get like $5 million back in the day? Brett May or whatever his name, or not, what the fuck is his name? May from North Carolina.
Drake May.
Oh, Drake May.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He got like $4 or $5 million back in the day. So maybe that is the price of a quarterback. But at the same time, like Butch was talking about, if you're not worth it, I'm not going to pay you this, because this is the running rate. And another thing is, like, this is the mentality that we keep harping on. Like, this is what drives America crazy right now, is that, and even God, his name just slipped my mind. Coach from Alabama that's on ESPN now.
Nick Saban.
Nick Saban said this a while back too. Is like, it's going to come down to two things. What is promised for me in the first year that I get there, and how much money can you pay me? And that's ultimately the reason why he wanted to get out of coaching, is because of the entitlement bull crap that comes along with it. Instead of just, hey, I want to play for the university, just like we said the other night. Like, you're at Tennessee. If you take a step back and look at Peyton Manning and like how he built basically what Tennessee is now for football, he came back. He could have won his junior. He came back his senior year just to win a national championship. And there's probably some other controversy in there, like, hey, what team is going to draft me the first round or whatever. But at the same time, though, is now the whole mindset for everybody is go get paid, and push you. And instead, it's like, what happened to being a team leader, to being a team sport? And when these guys get out in the real world, they're not going to have shit for ethics. Like, it used to actually mean something, saying, wait a minute, you play college ball? Like, if I'm hiring somebody, you play college ball, didn't matter what it was. You understood the 5 a.m. workouts, the being a student athlete, managing your studies, like time management, all that stuff right out of college made you more of a prime candidate than Jimmy, who sat there and playing Fortnite all night, and didn't do shit but just, go to a couple classes, right? So now it's like, these guys are going out in the working world after they don't get drafted, and they're, got a couple million in the bank or whatever.
Even if they do get drafted,
I'm not even looking at them. Like I'm like, this guy's entitled. All this me. That's just my.
Even if they do get drafted, they're gonna walk in there and be like, okay, if things get tough here, what are they gonna do?
Imagine if he said this to Bill Belichick, though, and he was going to the Patriots. Like, hey, Bill, I want you to change your program and change the way you run stuff so that I can throw the ball more.
I'm sitting there and I'm like, the whole thing about them getting paid, not getting paid, I think this all started with the we're going to sit out bowl games crap. I'm sorry. That's just when it started. And then it turned in and we need to pay the players. And now you got all these people in the media who are former players who are saying they got to pay the players. And now all these idiots are saying college football is ruined. And I'm like, wait a minute now, Micah Parsons. Wait a minute, RG3. Wait a minute, Dan Orlovsky and all these people who are like, go to bat for the players. And then this stuff starts happening. And what do? They turn their tail and just yell at the NCAA. Like, you didn't think this was going to happen when you said it's okay for them to sit out because they're preparing for their future. It's like, preparing for your future is staying there, finishing the job, being a teammate, being a good person. Because guess what? Whenever you're done and you're done playing ball, you're not going to get recruited everywhere, right? What are you going to do when your kids and your family need you? You just going to be like, nope, I'm going to go to another family for that's what sports and football are supposed to teach you. Like, it teaches you how to sacrifice yourself and what you want for the betterment of the team. Not put yourself first, get your bag, take care of yourself first. Then if it fits your
Agenda.
the way you want to play football and your scheme and the way you want to do things, great. I hate this putting the coaches versus players. Well, coaches can leave whenever they want. Great, dude. The coach is 50 years old. He probably did everything that this player has already done and didn't get paid for it.
Yeah.
We don't want to pit the coaches versus the players. And I understand everybody wants to yell and be like, oh, the NCAA, but that's always everybody's excuse. The bottom line is guess what? When it comes to you want to get paid and you want to have your money and you put all that and you got to get your bag and protect your brand. If you cultivate that and they listen to everything everybody on shows like this say, that's what they're going to think. They're going to think they're doing right. It's being what happened to when you were a kid. It's money's the root of all evil. Money is not everything.
More respect now more than ever goes to D2 and D3 programs.
100%.
Undrafted guys, coming in with a chip on their shoulder. Walk-ons that don't get scholarships until their senior year, the last couple of semesters. To me, that's more the heart and guts of ball now instead of.
Well, and And you're looking at an NFL like recruit, and you're looking at those things. You got to be like, hey, what was this guy given, or what did this guy take?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, and taking meaning what was he earning?
Yeah.
Like the hard work, the stuff that you don't see, the things that is happening when nobody else is looking, kind of thing. And is he coming to play all in, or he just playing for himself? Like just
I mean, gone are the days like everything's. This is the travel ball era, right? This was the guys who went and they just show up to showcases and then do their thing and then leave. Like it didn't matter if you won or lost. It was put up your numbers and go home. Like that's what 7-on-7 is. That's what flag football is now for the most part. You show up, there's 15 games going on. You got to put up the most stats. You can be the MVP and then you go home. Like didn't care if you win, I mean, and another thing what I'm talking about is like Joel Klatt says, oh, NIL and the portal aren't ruining college. It's the pathetic, inept NCAA for not enforcing the rules that threaten to ruin college schools. So we need a governing body. That's what everybody says. We need a governing body. We need a governing body. They take no responsibility for when they were sitting up here saying, I understand why they're sitting out. They should be able to sit out. They should get paid. They should do this. No, everybody should have been, the people like Joel Klatt and Emmanuel Acho should have been like, that's garbage. You need to play your games. Because this is what happens in like 10 years after all that garbage started, right? You've been telling these kids it's okay to sit out. It's okay not to play. It's okay to get it.
Load management.
Oh, dude. So anyways, and then again, Acho says college fan, it may not be ruined, but it's just disfigured so much it's nearly unrecognizable. Like these guys with the microphones and the cameras are just yelling at the government and yelling at the NCAA are not doing anybody any favors. They're trying to cover their own butts because they're not picking a side and being like, they want to yell at the coaches and want to yell at the NCAA. And they need to grab these kids and be like, play your freaking games, dude. You'll get more out of that than anything the rest of your life. Play your games. Be there for your teammates.
Somebody just needs to explain the situation. Like, there's nothing wrong with the guys to earn money.
No.
But the problem is that they just opened the floodgate and just there was no stipulation here. It was just like, all right, the levee's busted. Y'all just go get what you can get. Well, of course people are going to act like that. Of course everybody's going to be, well, I gotta go get mine because this guy's getting his.
But
that's the competition.
But I've said this from the beginning. This was all calculated.
On the field is the competition is how much money you're getting.
Yeah. How many followers do you have? What's your brand? Are you getting more money than the guy who just got paid,
So
football as a whole needs to work on maintaining the product on the field, making sure football is still football being played. Like we need good hard tackling, great explosive offenses, and some awesome turnovers. Like that's what you need to see. Like football needs to stay football and not drama off the field, because that's the problem the NBA's got right now. The biggest drama they still have is what's LeBron James arguing about Stephen A. Smith with, or whose podcast is LeBron James going on, not this playoff race or that playoff race. We need to make sure the product on the field is what matters most.
But the issue is that the NBA gets paid the most. So that's where all the players want their model to be. That's the problem, is that the NBA gets paid.
I think baseball gets paid the most, don't they?
No, well, I think it is the NBA, but there's only like 15 guys on the team.
That's what I'm saying.
So they got all those max.
Average wise, the NBA players make the most, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Like that's per team, per player, they make the most. Okay.
And everybody
I don't disagree with that.
Who plays football looks across and is like, well, the NBA's making that much. And it's like, you can't think of it like that, dude, because it's not the same thing. But they're both fruits, but they're apples and oranges. They're different, it's different. So this whole thing all started with the sit outs.
I'm going to tell you what, football now is like the show Walking Dead. It's like, football is the zombies. The game football is the zombies. They're kind of in the way of the drama. It's kind of in the way of the drama. So you gotta like shoot the zombie dead, But the drama is the show. So the drama right now is the money, all the off the field, and then football's kind of getting in the way, the actual game.
Okay, I see that. I love the all this was calculated, man. Like I did a whole segment on this where this whole thing was released at a time where the SEC was losing its power. They wanted to rearrange the playoff. They wanted to release NIL. They were losing control, so they just said, "Here you go," and then everything went to crap, and it was a free for all for everything. Like it was all calculated. They knew what they were doing. They knew exactly what they were doing. So they were losing power and they got scared. So they did everything. They did something that they thought everybody would like them for, which was like, oh, yeah, you can pay players. So the big schools with all the money would be like, oh, the NCAA is great. And the players would be like, oh, the NCAA is great. Meanwhile, everything's just going to crap. Anything else on that?
No, let's get